Before I get into this review, the power of science has told me channels have more luck staying afloat by requesting subs at the beginning and end of videos. With that said, if you like this video and what I have to say, why not leave a like and sub so I can grow into the most powerful man on the internet? Just kidding, probably. Anyways, here's the review. I hope you guys like it.
I pray to die every night, don't you see? I'm cursed to kill. Death would be a blessing, but not just any death. I'd need a silver bullet. Here's one.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've tried writing the stinking intro to this video in a way that sounds good like 10 different times at this point. So you know what? I'm just gonna come out and say it. My expectations for this show were way too high. Rewatching Moral Oral for my retrospective and coming to this show kinda just broke me. There was no way I was gonna be unbiased in this review, and I'm honestly really sorry about that. That doesn't mean I think the show is bad, however. Far from it. I think it did some creative things in a way that made it its own thing. But, I don't know. Knowing what the writing team could do to me after Moral Oral and seeing them just take away any edge the show might have had, just kinda made it not as fun for me to review. I honestly think the writers might have held back in fear of what may have happened after Alone canceled Moral Oral. With that said, I'm now going to challenge myself because I don't want this just to be another Moral Oral retrospective. For the rest of this video, I'm not going to mention Moral Oral at all, so that this video can be its own thing for the people who requested it. With that out of the way, I hope you guys pull out your pitchforks and your torches, because things are about to get very, very spooky. So, for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna be a juvenile 12-year-old boy and just call the series Frankenhole, as saying its full name every time will just get really old really fast. With that said, Frankenhole follows our main protagonist, Victor Frankenstein, the creator, not the creation, as he uses his intellect to help individuals throughout time who all come to visit him for one reason or another. Seriously, it can be anything. Hitler visits to become more tolerant of the Jews in one episode, and in an entirely different episode, Jesus visits, and I'm saying this with 100% seriousness, Jesus visits for a pair of socks. That's it. So with each episode, you really never know what you're going to get yourself into, and that's actually something I really dig about the series. With one of the main concepts being the immortality every main character in the show has, you never really run into any continuity issues either, because any of these stories can take place at any point in time. They don't have to necessarily follow a logical story order. In fact, some episodes reveal the episode takes place before a previous episode, and it's not entirely confirmed, but I'm pretty sure the entirety of Season 2 takes place before anything that happens in Season 1, due to a kinda status quo change I'll talk about in a little bit. The only real rule the storyboard artist tried to follow was that most of the story has to take place in a weird mix of Eastern Europe that's kinda like normal Eastern Europe, but also Eastern Europe in the Frankenstein novels, but also a weird mixture of other horror novels as well, because we get to see Dracula and things like the Wolfman or the Invisible Man there. It's really interesting, actually, how much world building this series has despite it being an episodic series. Like, for example, if you see an area in one episode, you're probably gonna see it again in a future episode, which is another thing I really like about the series. The show also has an insanely unique art style which I fell in love with immediately. It's created in a sort of paper mache style, and off the top of your head, what other show has characters designed like this? It's such an interesting artistic decision that really just did a good job making the show its own thing, and separates it from its contemporaries playing at the same time. For example, compare this to this, to see which one doesn't make me vomit in my mouth. No offense, 12-ounce mouse, I'll get to you soon. Oh god, will I get to you soon. Speaking of characters, all of the main cast bring their own unique traits to the table. None of them feel too similar to any of the others, meaning we get plenty of diverging dynamics in this series no matter whose focal point we are following for the episode. As I said earlier, our main view into this world is through the experiences of Dr. Frankenstein, who, after being alive for a really long time, is just bored with everything. and his only way to relieve that boredom is to help people from different times. Unfortunately, most of the people have honestly completely stupid requests, so Frankenstein never really gets any satisfaction from what he does. Victor's wife, Elizabeth, like him, is also immortal. However, Victor grew bored of her very quickly, so in most episodes we actually get to see her continuing affair with Count Dracula. We also see that she is a very affectionate person who's kind to anyone she meets, mostly shown in how she interacts with the creation. Frankenstein's lab assistant, Professor Apollodori, is a homosexual man who was also granted immortality to assist Victor with his experiments. Luckily, the show doesn't only make his character out to be one joke based on his sexuality. He has a wit and charm to him that makes him a pretty well-rounded character. Ironically, one of the most human characters in the show is Frankenstein's creation itself, a Shakespearean-esque romanticizer who questions his entire reason for existing night every time we see him in the series. He definitely does a good job showing that humans are the real monsters here. The absolutely best written character in the show is Igor, however.
Igor! Here, put this toothbrush somewhere safe until we're ready to use it. And make sure no one else gets their DNA on it.
You got it!
I don't think I've ever seen another show which has had a character that just makes me smile every time I see it. It's just such a wholesome character who gets 10 times better when you find out that the actor for Igor is Dan's daughter, Tigger Stamatopoulos. Two other characters in the series are Heinrich and Gustav Frankenstein, who are Victor and Elizabeth's kids, but since they were never given the immortality elixir, they have grown old, causing Victor to just want their death to come. Unfortunately, due to a rivalry between Frankenstein and Death refuses to take the two kids away, effectively making them also immortal. Alongside the main cast of characters, we get a couple reoccurring monsters that show up in most episodes as well, such as Dracula and the Wolfman. Another thing the show did was attempt to bring on a guest actor with each episode. In fact, one of the first things we see in an episode is a mirrored reflection of the guest for the week's episode in the opening. It's a nice little touch that just goes to show how much care was put into this series. An interesting fact about this series is that while there is 20 episodes to it, one of the episodes was never broadcasted on television due to the fact that it had some elements that the network found undesirable for TV. I went ahead and watched the episode, and while it's not that bad, to the point where I don't think it could be shown on TV, it's really nothing you have to go out of your way to see. With all the good things I just said about this show, how in the world could I say it was disappointing to me, right? Well, first of all, don't come into this show with the expectations I had. That was on me. But the show, to me, just didn't have any scenes that were incredibly memorable. You can make the argument that since it's an episodic series that I'm being too harsh on it, but let me give you a counterpoint. Do you remember that scene from the episode of Family Guy where Stewie wants Lois's attention due to him starting to love her? And he just repeats,
Mom! 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 Mommy! 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 Mama! Mama! Mama!
I remember that episode and why he's in that position and why Lois gets angry. I can't really think of a scene like that in this show. Now, don't get me wrong, the concept behind this show is insanely cool, same as the art style and even its characters. However, the episodes didn't grip me like I wanted them to. And maybe that's only me. I really like story-driven shows, but I could still appreciate old South Park and The Simpsons. So I just didn't get that feeling here. All in all, I really liked my experience with this show. I just feel like I could have liked it better. But who knows, if you've seen the show and you enjoyed it, leave a comment letting me know just what you enjoyed most about it. For me, that'll always be Igor, because holy shit is Igor adorable. Oh my god, I would die for this person. And there we have it, my raw thoughts on Frankenhole. If you like them, why not leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I hope this episode has shown you guys that your comments do matter, and I will review stuff you want to see on the channel. If you don't like the review, then turn those torches and pitchforks on me. Ow. And maybe I'll see you guys next time, where I review anything and everything. Catch you later.